Hi. How are you?
Well, how about you?
I'm great. Welcome back to the Seal and Rome podcast.
Thanks.
Seal.
I'm not contagious or anything, so.
Oh, that's great because you can't have that.
You sure can't.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of Seal and Rome.
This is Seal.
And this is Rome, and this is episode number 79. And as you guys have heard, Cio is back with us.
I'm back, bitches!
Welcome back, friend.
Thanks. Good to be back. Good to be back. Did you miss me?
We missed you.
Okay.
What the fuck's going on?
Something bit me.
Okay.
Not a human.
Okay.
Some bug. I'm not sure what it is, but my neck was hurting me. I might be a hypochondriac. I'm not sure because it turned out to just be something very minimal, but better safe than sorry.
You know, when you told me you were going to go to the hospital, I thought it was going to be for some of the other pains you were having.
Nah. This is really close to your heart. So it's like that was freaking me out.
Got it. All right. So it was a freak out jam.
Yeah, it was a freak out. And I'm super emotional right now. So it probably is a mixture of everything put together.
I was just talking about how in the last episode, no matter how big or small, if you feel like something's wrong, go get checked.
Yeah,
so I'm not judging.
Facts.
Glad you're
pressure.
okay.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Now, before we jump into some topics, let's get a couple of things out the way. The best podcast.
You can go ahead and say that. I'm going to say the best podcast.
The best podcast of 2019.
Undisputed.
If you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at sealandrome@gmail.com. Also, if you want to get yourself some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, or a hoodie.
Yes, and we have a discount code for you guys. That discount code is ZioandRome15. That gets you 15% off. Cop you something, take a picture, tag us in it, and let us shout you out.
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump into some topics. I want to piggyback on something that I brought up in last week's episode when I was by myself. It was really a topic meant for this week's episode, but I kind of brought it up prematurely.
Okay.
It's about the Walmart thing. We went there, saw they were selling bikinis in a 3X.
Correct.
Thoughts?
Yay. I think that Walmart, it's about time that any store really steps their game up when it comes to inclusivity. And I feel like a lot of women of a more curvaceous body type are learning and starting to accept their curves and their body type, and I think that they're okay with wearing two pieces now. So I think that's dope that they can make two pieces for bigger girls, and I think that should spread throughout more places than just Walmart.
Got it. Now, like, what do you say to someone who has an issue with big girls wearing bikinis?
Cover your eyes. Don't look the other way. It's none of your business. What the fuck?
Facts. Okay. I just needed to bring that up because I meant to bring you in on the discussion.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think that women are a lot more powerful in all senses, in all types of ways, than they give themselves credit for. And I think that we should see ourselves as beautiful creatures and learn to accept a lot of parts of ourselves that we're not even happy with. I'm still working on that, but it's definitely something that I think every woman should work towards.
Speaking of you,
yeah,
you've lost a lot of weight. I've been looking at old photos and I'm like, wow.
I know.
Why don't we highlight this more?
I don't know. I honestly,
I feel like you're not comfortable showcasing the weight loss.
I don't know that it's not that it's, I don't know that if it's that I'm not comfortable with it. I don't think that I'm realizing it as much as other people are realizing it.
Yo, it's crazy.
Like, I actually wore a pair of pants for the first time in a few years the other day, and they actually like buttoned with no type of even like, you know, sometimes you got to do the dance and like none of that.
Yeah, dude, you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Go you.
Thank you.
All right. Why don't you kick us off with some juicy topics because
got it. So I have a round the table Zio topic, and I've actually gotten feedback off of this topic. So I'm going to address it, let you speak on it, and then tell you what I've heard as far as feedback.
All right, cool.
Do you believe that men can catch just as many feelings in casual sex situations than women?
Do I think it's possible? Yes. Do I think that it happens as frequently? No.
Okay. Now, what would you think the factors that would entail as far as a man catching feelings in just a casual sex situation?
I think that something happens between them. Mm-hmm. Okay, he has to be at least a little bit interested in the person.
Beyond physicality?
Beyond physicality. Now, he could be like, I think that I've kind of fell in a situation with someone who really just planned to have a physical relationship with me. But the more time we spent together, he was like, wow, she's actually a really good girl. Mm-hmm. But I'm like picking up from him that he's not in a position in life where he can be what I need him to be, which is why we don't deal with each other at all anymore. But I think he definitely fell in that category of someone who started to catch feelings for me when the initial intention was just to be physical.
Yes.
But again, he had to be around me enough and have enough conversations with me enough to kind of be stunned by me in a way, you know? So I feel like guys who already know up front this can only be physical, either you haven't done anything that's particularly compelling to catch them off guard, or they never were like interested in you in the gate. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember the question. I guess the point is that I don't know. It's really hard, like, to start off as something physical and then get him in the feels unless there's something really special about you.
So basically what I'm gathering is that you're saying that time invested may lead to further feelings past the casual sex.
Yeah.
If you're kicking it and it's not always leading to a sexual encounter with them, then the likelihood of them catching feelings is greater.
Yo, this is going to sound so stupid.
Go ahead.
Food. Once food gets involved, shit gets that opens the door to some shit.
What? Okay.
Food is the doorway from going from just casual sex to something a little bit more.
So you're saying if you're sharing meals,
yes,
then the likelihood of there being feelings is far greater.
It's the doorway.
Okay, and what
to
makes
something
you
potentially
say this?
happening? Okay, two things. So if you start going to dinner together or lunch or whatever, and conversations are happening that are not, because you're not at Applebee's looking each other in the eyes 100% of the time like, yo, I can't wait to put my dick inside of you.
Not 100% of the time,
but it could happen. Yeah, it could happen. But I'm just saying that's not going to be the nature of the conversation the whole time. It could evolve to other things like that are
things
just,
that have taken place.
Shit.
Let me tell you about this.
Yeah. So that's when you go out and you're sharing a meal. Now, if it gets to a situation where you're cooking a meal for him
that's
or he's cooking a meal for you, then you're one person's nurturing the other. And if it's delicious and your taste buds are like, oh shit, this is really, really good, I feel like it just does something that makes you feel like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. Like, and that opens door for conversation too, because over a meal, people tend to talk or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I also feel I agree with you on the whole meal thing.
Food is the doorway.
But I also feel
So don't break bread with me, nigga, if you ain't ready.
If a man is coming out of his pocket, not because he feels like he's paying for it because at the end of the night he's going to get some buns, but just because he genuinely is like, no, and like wants to pay for something for you, I think that also speaks on it.
That's 50-50.
Because you feel like...
Man, that's 50-50, man, because if I reflect on every single time a man picked up the check, I want to say more often than not, the dude's doing it because he wants the buns. Like, that's the vibe I get.
I'm saying. What happens if you're already having casual sex and he knows that he's probably going to have the buns regardless?
Then I feel like that doesn't even fall in alignment with the feelings thing that you're talking about. But I think that's what opens the door for me to catch feelings for him, because I'm like, wow, not only does he break my back, but he actually wants to take care of me a little bit. He doesn't only
break my back, but he also breaks bread in the meal and in the pockets.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. Well, let me tell you the feedback that I got from dudes.
Okay.
Okay. So the feedback that I got was that basically the answer was yes. Yes, men can catch feelings quite as often as girls do when it comes to just casual sex. Stipulations. If he has casual sex with you more than 3 times and continues to come back, it's a little bit more than just casual sex.
What?
Yes. I know why you're laughing like this, bitch. No, I'm serious. And this was from multiple guys. It wasn't just one.
Wow. Okay. So now I better understand some things.
Yes.
Okay.
So if a guy, because if it's whack and he doesn't like the casual sex, he can be having casual sex with someone else.
What if he puts a bunch of distance between the encounters?
I didn't ask that question, but let me give you the rest of the feedback.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just so excited.
So because he can be having whack sex with someone else, or he can just be having sex that's better with someone else in comparison to the casual sex that he's having with you per se, right? So if you've had sex with someone if he's had sex with the girl more than 3 times and he finds himself still coming back, it's because not only does he enjoy the sex, but there's something there more beyond the sex that he still wants to be around. Okay.
Like you make them feel like they're coming home. Come
in
home,
all
my
aspects.
child.
Yes.
Come home, my child, where you belong.
Yes.
It's warm.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
It's safe.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Okay.
And then they also said that most of the time that happens, the man will be likely to not speak on it out of fear that because it started as casual sex, they don't know if the female is feeling some type of way, so they don't want to mess up the casual sex situation.
I gotta call bullshit on that.
Why is that?
Because I think that women have a very hard time hiding their emotions, and
but you have to understand that men also don't
like rejection.
No, not only don't like rejection, but don't necessarily read clues very well either.
Oh man, this is a perfect segue to something I was thinking about earlier today, but I feel like you have more feedback. So.
I do. They're not the best. Like they don't pick up signs very well.
They sure don't.
That's what I'm saying. So to you may be completely evident unless you're like, nigga, I fucking love you and I need you to always be in this vagina. They're not going to really pick it up. They're just going to think like, oh, these are girls are emotional, and they take it with a grain of salt.
I feel a rant coming in 5, 4.
So, yes. So that's what I heard. And they were saying also that, what was it they said? Oh, said, and if it happens for longer periods of time, then there's definitely something there now.
Meaning if we've been having casual sex for years?
Yeah. If we've been having casual sex for years, then there's...
I'm part of the family, nigga.
Yeah. Same.
I'm like a silent partner in this establishment.
Yeah, same.
No. I agree with that for sure.
So that's what they were saying. So they're like, yes, it's very possible. Most of the time they won't speak up on it. And if it's been happening for quite some time, the likelihood of it being more than just casual sex is very, very, very great. So basically, to wrap it up, is basically saying men are definitely out here catching feelings off of casual sex.
Yeah.
They're definitely keeping it under wraps more than you would think.
Okay.
And they're trying to play it off as it is, just what it is, but it's out of fear of rejection.
So I have a question for you fellas. If you feel like you're catching feelings, but that's not like what you want, is that why you may ignore a text message every now and then because you worried about catching feelings?
That's a possibility. You don't want to.
You're like,
feed more
shit,
into the possibility of that.
I gotta chill on Shorty because she gonna
hook
me, bruh. She gonna hook me, bruh.
She gonna reel it in.
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna get that text soon. Anyway, listen, I just want to say one thing to piggyback off this. I was gonna go on a Twitter rant, but I was like, you know what, Rome, this doesn't fall in line with new you, so chill. So I didn't tweet. You niggas that claim that you appreciate a woman that's straightforward, especially when it comes to sex matters, dating matters, this, that, and the third, you niggas are full of shit, okay? Because I'm one of the most straightforward women that I know as it relates to romantic encounters.
That also may scare them, though. They may talk a big game.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, y'all can't handle it. So I just want to let you men know that you're like, ooh, I wish I had a shorty that'll be like, yo, can you come over and knock this down, please?
I think they're scared of that too, though. I think that guys say they always want a girl to be
say
horny.
They want that, like, oh, it couldn't be me.
Yeah, they say, oh, I always want a girl that's ready to get down in the sack. I always want a girl that's horny, and I want that. But then you find a girl that's horny and wants it all the time.
And
now
you're
scared, and it's a job, and you really don't know what to do. Or people will be like, oh, not me. I'll throw it down whenever the fuck I... Nigga, find yourself a shorty that wants it just as bad as you claim you do. Yeah. And it's a motherfucking problem.
Sure is. Definitely.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Or it could be that my sex game's whack and weak and stuff, but who knows?
Okay.
Maybe we need, man, this will be a really good podcast episode.
Maybe we need to have like sex
Maybe
Olympics.
We need a survey. Maybe we need for me to find someone that I'm having casual sex with, which is not happening right now, but I'm talking about the future. Find someone that I'm having sex with that's comfortable enough coming on the podcast and giving me an honest sex report. Or I don't have to be on the episode. It could be just you and this other person.
That'd be dope.
And I could be in another room with headphones on. They give the honest sex report and I could listen along with everyone else when the show airs.
I legit would love to do that too. Like have me interview someone for you and then you interview someone for me. But then I'm scared because the person that I would want you to interview has a whole language on their own and I'm afraid nobody will be able to understand them.
Yeah, I could see that. Yo, we gotta figure out what guy would be comfortable enough sharing with the world that they've been with us. People want to keep it on the low these days.
I don't know if it's whatever. Anywho, so you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah. Wow. Looking at my topics and everything is based off love and sex.
Oh, mine is off of one's funny. Okay. Kind of, sort of.
I'll ease you guys in.
That's how I like it.
This is based off of a tweet that I made that love isn't just romantic. I am in a place in life where I want to freely love whoever I want without worrying if it's right or wrong. I want to love someone without feeling like there's guilt or shame associated with it. I feel like I already have a trend of core people that I can tell them like, yo, I love you. And it's not weird.
Right.
Whether it's male, female, in a relationship, not a relationship. Like I want to be able to shoot you a text saying I love you and there's no weird stuff. Like I just feel like it's so important for people to feel that they're loved and for people to tell each other that they love each other. Like life can get crazy sometime and I can use the Diddy thing as an example. The situation with Kim Porter, just kind of popped in my head, but I saw a post where he was like heartbroken with a picture of them together with the heartbreak emoji. And someone was like, nigga, when she was alive, you didn't want to marry her. So make up your fucking mind, Negro.
He owns it though. And
he was like, yeah, you right. I don't know what I was thinking. I played myself. And I'm just like, yeah, like, we gotta stop playing ourselves. Like we got all the time in the world to not appreciate each other and not assign value to partnerships and things like that as it relates to romance. But I think even when it doesn't relate to romance, even if you and I aren't compatible as partners, or even if we're not meant to be together in this lifetime, but I feel something for you, I want to tell you that I love you.
I think you should.
And I want you to tell me that you love me too. If you love me.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what if they don't love you like that?
No, I'm not saying that I expect it, but I want to send the message that if you love me, I don't want you to feel like
it's weird.
If you're going to say it to me, that I'm going to be like, whoa, time out, nigga, because no one wants to be rejected or feel awkward after you tell someone that they love you. So the same way I'm saying I want to tell people that I love them. If you love me, the door is open for you to spread the love.
I agree with that.
So DM me. Call me, text me.
What happens?
And tell me that you love me.
Time out.
If you love me.
What happens if it's someone that you know is interested in you in that way, you're not interested in them in that way, and they tell you that they love you? Are you going to say I love you back? Because wouldn't that lead to false
It
hope?
depends, because the whole premise of this conversation is that not all love is romantic.
Facts.
So if you're telling me you love me and it has a romantic attachment to it, my greatest concern is that if you love me romantically and we've been close enough to where you know me well enough to actually love me, I can be like, I can still find appreciation in that regardless of my interest level. And I can also be straightforward and let you know it's not that type of party, and that I love you as a friend, or if I do love you as a friend, you know. But I feel like when someone tells me that they love me, they think it's romantic and they don't know me well enough to say that, then I genuinely feel concerned for them and their well-being, because they're out here projecting love for someone they don't know. And as much as I'm like out there like making friends and caring for people and all this and that, like I personally don't feel that there's many men in my life currently that know me well enough to wholeheartedly say that they love me. Regardless of how transparent I am on this podcast or anything like that, I personally don't feel in my day-to-day life I spend enough FaceTime with any man for him to comfortably say like, Rome, I love you, girl. There's not many. If you only know me on Instagram, I just feel like that's not fair, because what I project on social media is not a perfect representation of like,
I agree with that,
who I legitimately am. So I'm thinking in that dynamic, if you slide into DMs and you tell me that you love me and you and I have never broke bread. See, I brought that back.
I see how you did
Didn't
that.
break my bread. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, if we never broke bread, I'm going to be like, I appreciate that. I'm definitely flattered, but you know, I think there's a lot that you may not know about me. But it's still appreciated, man. You know, if someone expresses some sort of adoration for you, I think we should appreciate that more, not feel offended and not shame people for feeling how they feel.
I concur on all of that. I think that being expressive is probably the new way of doing things, or at least should be, because there's enough negativity and hate coming out here in these streets. So why don't we add a little positivity to all of that?
For sure.
All right. So I had a situation that led to a funny conversation, and I wanted to share with you. So I was hanging out with someone, and we were kind of in like this little like old stoop kind of areas. For those of you guys who don't know what a stoop is, it's when you're sitting outside on the front porch kind of hanging with the homies. So we're sitting down, chilling, you know, talking shit, whatever. There's this girl, right? She's pacing back and forth up and down the sidewalk repetitiously. She looks maybe like she's in her mid-20s. You know, she looks like she might be a little out of it. Either that's Molly or that's crack or
streetwalker that does crack or heroin.
All of that, you know, whatever. And, you know, I'm very aware of my surroundings. So even in the midst of my conversations, I'm looking through the corner of my eye every time she walks by, because I can see that she's slowly going to be making an attempt to approach where I'm at with all these people.
Okay.
So the third time that she walks around, I see her start coming this way. So I already get in defense mode, right? It's late night. It's just a group of us. I really don't know this shorty. People are crazy out in these streets. So I see her approach. Clearly, she's asking for some shit, right?
Like some
work.
Contraband.
Right? So as she's doing
Is contraband the right word?
Paraphernalia. So
Yes.
So she sees that I'm the only female in this group, right? So I think she's trying to play the cool card. So she's like, oh my God. As she's leaning towards me, she's like, what is that smell? It smells so good. So my homeboy looks at her, because he very well knows how I am. So he looks at her and he goes, yeah, that's her, right? And she's like, yeah, I can only guess. He's like, you should get close to her and smell her hair. And I literally looked at him like, you are barking up the wrong
that's the wrong
tree.
thing to do.
And she looked at me and I looked her dead in her face. Like, I gave her that look like, I want you to come over here and smell my hair. That's what I want you to do. I want your next move to be, you approach me and get close to the point where I can't lift my elbow up. She did not even think about coming this way, right? So what made it even funnier was that after we left, I'm having a conversation with my peoples, and I'm like, yo, I cannot believe that you said to Shorty, that's her, you should smell her hair, she smells good.
It's a dangerous game.
It's a danger. I was like, then what happens if Zio reverts to circa 2001 and starts putting the paws on Shorty? I'm wrong, right? And his response to me was, nah, you wouldn't have been wrong. He's like, there's specific time frames during the day that you or night that you can be that ratchet. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and someone's approaching you that way, you have every right to spaz out on them. Plus, these are baser chronicles.
Oh boy.
He's like, these are baser chronicles. If people can come out here close enough to you, regardless of what drug they're on, and be in your space, you have every right at that point to fucking spaz the fuck out on them.
I suppose.
But my thing is, like, I think that that's either you're damned if you do or you're damned if you don't, because people are going to say, oh, if she steps in your space, then you had every right. And then when you really hurt a person because they stepped in your space, oh, you ain't have to do all that. Would you have flipped on someone if they got close to you and smelled your hair that you didn't even know like that?
I don't know. It depends on the way they went about it. I'm going to be real with you. Like, people who have questionable lifestyles in terms of health, if you're a streetwalker, druggie, you're the last person I probably want to get in a fight with.
I understand that.
That's for sure. That's for damn sure. So
I also am not going to be having you in my space, though. I'll drop kick you. I won't even touch you. Like, I'll just drop kick you.
I would definitely take a step back and give the warning. I think everybody deserves a warning. If it's something as like, oh, you smell my hair, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? But the moment like there's actual physical contact, I don't know. I just kind of black out.
Yo, like the only thing I kept playing out in my head, it wasn't even it's a fake scenario. Like, I didn't even envision like actually putting my paws on her. The only thing I envisioned is if she would have in fact leaned towards me to smell my hair, I definitely would have stepped back and be like, that's what you don't want to do. You do not want to get close to my hair or me, period.
Definitely not.
That's all I'm saying. Baser Chronicles, though, that's really funny.
That is.
Like, I think that should be a skit in its own.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm thinking about several times in my life where I've had encounters with basers.
It's like Baser Chronicles.
There's always to tell. Yo, man, I don't think you've seen this, and I've asked you about it before. Crackhead City or
no, I haven't seen.
No, Crackhead's Gone Wild documentary.
No, I've seen bum fights.
Bro, Crackhead's Gone Wild is a whole on documentary, bruh. Oh my God, I gotta find a copy of this.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Yo, if someone has a copy or plug or link, please send it to me. All right. Wow, this is about to get crazy. For those of you who love roams or rants, buckle up, because I got some shit to say.
Cue gunshots now.
As much as I love you men, when you reach out to me like, yo, ma, can I come through? Yo, ma, can you braid my hair? Yo, ma, do you think you could do this? Yo, ma, you still do taxes? Yo, ma. Like, I appreciate that you thought of me during your time of need. But when's the last time you offered to do some shit for me?
Are you expecting that?
No, what I'm saying is, you niggas are so comfortable asking us women for favors, but you are so reluctant
to do something,
to do shit for us.
Okay.
And like, most of you niggas don't want to do shit unless we're in a relationship with you or there's something super special going on. This is my motto. If you're comfortable enough to call in a favor, my nigga, you should be comfortable enough to reach out and do shit just because. And I don't see enough of that. But what I've learned with men is a lot of times they don't do something unless we literally ask them for things. And the thing is that I don't want to always ask you to do something for me or to buy me something or to conduct a service. Or when I do ask you to do something, it's a whole on discussion about why you can and can't and bop, 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 bop. Don't ask me to do shit. The same niggas that asked me to do shit, I had like 3 niggas ask me for something this week, right? I'm like, where the fuck were you on my birthday? And that's what I'm thinking. I'm still a little salty about my birthday. But I'm just like,
hey,
huh?
What do you mean you're a little salty about your birthday?
about people that should have hit me up that didn't hit me up.
Gotcha.
Y'all the same niggas that'll be asking me for shit, but then couldn't remember a queen's birthday. Like, what the fuck?
It's a special day, man.
I'm just saying.
Seriously.
Like, if we're close enough for you to call in a favor,
Facts.
then I need to be special enough for you to do something for me. Like, I feel like with strong women, we sometimes give off the impression we don't need shit.
Honestly, though, that's true. And I feel like not only do we give off the impression that we don't need shit, we also come off in the way that if we did need shit, we can tackle it on our own without your help.
Or like they might be afraid that they can't do anything that's good enough for us.
Or to your liking.
Yo, just try. Throw spaghetti at the wall for me. I don't give a fuck. But I don't mind doing things for people.
What's your love language?
Gifts. Receiving gifts.
I believe you, actually.
Dead ass. The point is I it's very hard for me to tell someone no, especially if I care about them. But it's like a lot of y'all motherfuckers that be calling in favors. I can't remember the last time you did something for me. Yo, there's this one nigga, yo. There's this one nigga
I feel it.
that really in his head thinks that he can bag me, fam. He really, really thinks he's gonna bag me, fam.
So I know this person?
You've never met him in person. But he's I'll put it to you like this, he's gonna be moving to Tampa in the near future, and he swears I'm gonna be his girl when he come out here.
Have you established that isn't the case?
I just keep saying I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know or do you not know?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm not particularly interested. I'm cool with us kind of maybe exploring things and seeing if there's something there
what
between
if that
us.
leads to false hope on his part?
Every time he hits me up, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still bitter and upset about the way things went between us the last time we were involved. I don't think you and I want the same things. I really don't know if that's what's going on. He's like, no, I'm definitely, he's like, no, I know, like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you back. Like, that's what he says to
That's
me.
also very attractive in itself, though. It could be a little scary, but at the same time, it's like the fact that he's that resilient and persistent with the whole situation is kind of like, you want me.
Yeah, but you never send me anything. You didn't give me anything for Christmas nor my birthday, and you forgot to even tell me happy birthday, but you want me so bad. No, you want these tits. Like, that's what the fuck you want, fam.
I mean, that's very possible too.
Yeah, like, we don't have to play these games.
Have you
like
asked him that? Have you said, well, how come I didn't hear from you on my birthday if you want me so badly?
Yeah.
And the response was,
I don't celebrate holidays and this and that and whatever.
Ooh,
like,
no,
man.
no.
There's this
Thank
other
you,
homie.
next.
There's this other homie that's like infatuated with me. But every time there's an opportunity for him to do something for me, it's like there's always an excuse. There's always a reason why he can't do this, that, and I'm very vocal with things. I let him know what he can do. There's always excuses, and then he'll just hit me up out of nowhere like, babe, I really want to see you, and I wanted this, and I wanted that. No! Like, stop vocalizing yourself to me about what you want. What you need to do is hit me up and be like, listen, I would like to take you out and do something special for you. When are you available? You niggas are just way too comfortable asking for shit. Step to us like, yo, what can I do for you? If you can't step to me like, what can you do for me? Like, don't ask me for shit. That's all I'm saying. I can kick it with you and be cool with you even if you're not doing things for me. But my thing is, like, you need to earn the right to ask me for shit. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me for shit unless you earn the right to ask me for shit. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with all of that.
Thank you, friend.
No problem. Y'all niggas better step up and let my girl know what's good, man.
Word.
Call her and say happy belated birthday. How about that?
How about that? This March, bitch.
Get it right. March your way into them DMs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my last topic. If we were on video, everybody would see me cheese right now.
Yo, you just gave me the most sinister smile.
Well, it's because whatever.
I'm scared.
Nothing to be scared of.
I'm very scared.
We have had this discussion that you particularly fucking shoved down my throat. So I want to have this conversation again.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, I'm getting her ready.
Can showing others how much you care about them by simple acts cause them to then start caring for you as well?
Yeah.
Why? They could just be like, oh, that's cute.
I think for the same exact reason why I had this rant. I think we live in a society where everyone's like, give me, give me, give me, give me. And then when you do a little something for someone with no personal gain, like up front, like you genuinely do something that's just caring and sweet for a person and they're not expecting that, I think it touches them in a way because they're not used to that behavior. Especially men, man. Oftentimes men get left behind and forgotten, and it's really hard to get gifts and things like that for men sometimes. And I feel like when you do something a little cute, it doesn't even have to be the most expensive thing in the world. Like, even if it has thought behind it, they're like, wow. They're really wowed by that. I don't know. It's happened for me numerous of times where I've done something thoughtful for a guy and I can see that it clearly affected him in a way. And I'm like, yo, this light work, fam.
For real. There's more where that came from, baby.
This light work, okay.
So I guess, yes, I agree with you in that aspect. Do you believe going off of what you just said, that it's harder for men to kind of get gifts, or it's for women to pay attention to certain things for men as far as the things that they may like or enjoy? Do you feel like it's more susceptible for men to fall given nonchalant gift situations, or that it's more susceptible for a woman to fall? Because women do naturally get more gifts, flowers, etc., etc.
I feel as much as I love gifts, I feel like it has more of an impact with men than it does for women, because I feel like there's societal pressures that men need to spend the money. Men need to pay for the dates. Men need to buy the diamonds. Men need to do this. Men need to buy the flowers. I don't feel like women have that same pressure that they have to play the role of a supporter or a gift giver and all those things. So I think because when a woman does it for a man, it falls out of societal norms and it shakes things up a little bit. I think it's a little more special. I think for me, if I'm receiving gifts from someone that doesn't really know me that well, the gift doesn't have any type of sentimental value, and I'm not particularly interested in that man, it could mean a bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this guy today, actually, interestingly enough. Bro brought me a floral arrangement that was so big.
It looked like it belonged at a funeral home.
That's exactly what I was going to say, man. That shit looked like it belonged on a banquet table, on a casket.
Oh, my God.
It was huge. And while I appreciate the gesture, and I'm like, damn, he must have spent like a pretty little penny on that. And, man, I know how much he likes me.
Unless he actually took it from a funeral home, then that would be weird.
I don't know. It was delivered and whatnot, but I don't know. I mean, my thought is, it didn't really mean anything to me, you know? Whereas, if I'm having a conversation with someone about, oh, fuck, I'm so sick of this hard drive. It keeps taking a crap on me and it's da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, hey, I decided to buy you a new hard drive because I know your old one's been giving you trouble and I know how much podcasting means to you. And I just figured this would make things a bit easier.
Yeah, my pussy's wet.
Nigga, took the words out of my mouth. My pussy is so wet.
No, facts. That's facts. No print.
And my heart is melting.
Yeah.
And yo, I could have that reaction and not have been feeling you, but you doing that could get me to feel you a little bit. Like, wow, he pays attention to what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He's
it's not even just about the
thinking
gift.
My needs, and he's doing something that's going to make my life a little bit easier.
That's why my love language is acts of service. You do anything in my life that makes something easier. You do something that makes me feel like, hey, I thought of you, so I decided to take this off your plate. That's foreplay to me, nigga.
So I feel like for me as a woman, like that can get me, but I feel like because men don't get enough of that, I think it impacts them on a greater scale.
Yeah.
There was this guy I was dating, and man, we have a very interesting connection. We have a very interesting connection. I don't think we'll ever be in a relationship.
Like chemistry carbon?
I don't think there's a chemistry carbon. I just think that it started off as casual sex, and
Somebody caught feelings?
I don't think that neither one of us have feelings or a desire to be with each other, but it's love when we're together. Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird. It's so weird. And
I love that.
His watch band had broke, and he was admiring my watch band. And he was like, yeah, I kind of got a watch band like that, but this little piece broke and it keeps sliding off, whatever. And I decided to just get him the same watch band, replaced it. And he was like so thankful. Like, I brought it to him at the dick appointment. And then after the dick appointment, I came back home, and then like maybe a couple days later when he finally put it together, he was like, oh my gosh, I love my watch band. Thank you so much. And even sent me a photo of it.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I was just like, these little moments are like really, really cute to me. And it's just appreciating one another. And it's like, he could have just put the watch on and been like, this is dope, and not said shit to me.
Or not send you a picture so that you can see what it ended up looking like. I feel like he could have just even said that. But the fact that he sent you a picture even speaks volumes.
And it was $13.
Why you do that though?
Huh?
Why are you doing that?
No, I mean, I'm just making the point that it doesn't have to be the most expensive thing. It's just paying attention.
Yo, this mosquito fucked me up.
I know.
I already got bit by enough shit, bruh. I can't deserve.
He knows that it wasn't expensive, but I'm just making the point. It's not always about the money, the price, and all that. It's the thought that counts.
Facts. The fact. No, it's like you're saying. It is the thought that counts. It's the fact that there was a thought, and you paid attention to the fact that he stated he needed a band.
Pay attention to a need.
Yeah. It wasn't just the dick that you were paying attention to. It was what he needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. I'll wrap up with this. First of all, let me share a discovery that I made. There's this guy that calls me princesa, right? Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if he calls me that because my name is Sarah, which means princess. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know if he says this to me because
he actually thinks they're royalty.
No, because, oh, Jesus. How can I say this? I don't know if he says this because in his world, I may play the role of a princess in his eyes, because I can't play the role of a queen.
Eyes.
So in his eyes, I'm his princess, right?
Eyes.
So anyway, so
you'll get that later.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's going over my head.
Clearly.
Okay. I think something went over your head earlier, and I can't wait for you to hear it back.
Okay.
That's fine. So I was like, okay, but I'm a queen, right? But I'm like, to him, I could see how I'm not the queen, and that's fine, right? But I'm like, technically, because I'm single, like, can I be like, yo, I'm still a queen, or do I have to wait until a king makes me a queen?
No.
And I was like, let me look this up.
You're a queen.
So literally and figuratively, a queen doesn't have to be with a king to be considered a queen, not just for egotistical purposes, but in actual kingdoms.
Yeah, royalty.
Yeah, like Queen Elizabeth the First and the Second. Neither one of them were married.
Yeah.
And they're queens. So,
and just because a queen marries doesn't mean that person who she marries is the king.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking in my head, like, you know, I'm on some queen shit right now, eating my ice cream at the rolled up ice cream place, feeling very royal for some reason. I don't know why. And I was like, yo, I'm a queen, and I feel like I need to be treated as such. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what I choose to do with my life. I think I'm feeling a little guilty for breaking my celibacy, but I'm like, you know what? My life, my body, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Facts, no
problem. Right? So I was like, why is it that people like Erykah Badu doesn't get treated like a thought or a whore or anything like that, considering her track record? This is a woman who has children by different men and has dated a lot of people in the limelight. And I'm not saying she should be treated like a thought or a whore What I'm saying is that I've started comparing myself to that of Elizabeth Taylor, but I feel she has more of the reputation of getting married numerous times. And I'm like, I don't want to be the married and divorced chick. I want to be the chick that I can be with whoever I want, whenever I want, whether it works or not works, and still have that respect of being a queen. Like, don't play me. So I'm like, Erykah Badu is my idol in that regard. And I think what it comes down to is because she commands respect. She isn't thirsty for attention. And I feel that the men who have dealt with her love and protect her like she's a queen, even when they're no longer in a relationship.
Yeah,
with
they
her
don't
anymore.
speak down on her. And it's
And if you do speak down on her, they gonna fuck you up, even though they ain't with her no more.
they
They
definitely
speak
gonna check
highly
you.
of her.
They're definitely gonna check you, but it also it's what she exudes. And what she exudes is, you will respect me and don't play with me or my name. I feel like she exudes that. Like, she's very, like, a matter of fact. Like, I seen her on Wild 'N Out one time and somebody looked like they were gonna come at her sideways, and all she did was look to the side, homie, and it was like, end of joke. There was nothing else that was said.
And I feel like she adds so much value to these men's lives that even if the relationship doesn't work out, it's like she's the type of woman that's out here changing lives. You know how they talk about how men dress after they date her?
Yes.
Because she has something about her that just creates change. And I feel like I'm that woman.
Yeah, but that kind of goes back to something that we spoke to a few episodes ago, which was that you and I tend to be those type of people that assist in changing our partner's lives. And we said that it shouldn't always be that way.
I'm not saying that I'm aiming to change a life, but I do feel like anyone who's dealt with me, whether it's been dating, relationship, marriage, whatever, if you can leave this better than you came, I think that says a lot about me as a person.
Yeah, it says that you're a queen.
And I don't know. I'm just kind of looking out on my life and trying to figure out, where am I going to end up? I don't know if I'll be married again one day. I just know I want to love people and I want to be loved. If it can be with one person long term, great. But if it can't be, then maybe I'll end up like Erykah Badu with all these little micro relationships that are special and meaningful. And once they run it their course, then I move on to something else. And maybe I should be completely okay with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying that I want that, but I don't know.
Sometimes you have to serve your purpose in people's lives.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether that is them coming into your life for a temporary, situation and then leaving. It may be hurtful. It may not be hurtful. But regardless, your purpose has been served. And I think that that's kind of how I need to start looking at things. Not allow the situation to hurt me.
Not trying to force it. Like, I have to make this last forever or
right.
I'm a failure.
Exactly.
I'm over that.
Oh, that's good though, because I feel like I'm starting to find myself in that space too. Like, listen,
This has been a good run.
this is not only was the journey fun, but regardless of, how quickly or how abruptly it ended, I think I should focus on the good things and what came out of it for both people, even if it was more for the other than yourself, and just let it be that. Because perhaps, you know how they say sometimes your job in someone's life is making them a better person for the next person. Mm-hmm. You don't know who is being worked on by someone else for you.
That's an excellent point.
So you have to accept that.
That's an excellent point. Well, I think I'm a little salty, guys.
Okay.
I think I'm a little salty because I met a great person a while back, and I really think I've given up on the idea of that becoming anything. Who knows? Maybe in the future it might become something, but I'm letting it go, right? I just don't think this is the time for it. And I'm like, well,
timing is important too, that.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time for it, and I'm letting it go. But I'm like, you know what? In the meantime, I'm not going to mope around. I'm just going to open my heart to all of the possibilities. And I feel like some things are going to happen for me. I feel like some things are going to happen
I
for
feel
me.
that too. And I feel like
It's going to be a very fun summer.
And I feel like it's also going to happen when you least expect it.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
No, that's the good part. Stop looking at it like that. That's the good part. It's going to be so out the blue that it's going to surprise you in such a good way that you're going to be like, this is why I went through all those other little bumps for this exact moment.
I suppose.
Listen, I'm still waiting for my bump. Not Coke, guys, because that was weird. But
Bump, bump, bump.
let's go break this bread.
All right. We have to go, guys. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for welcoming CL back. And I guess we'll catch you on the next episode. As always, please and thank you. Please continue to support us. Please share.
Please
and
tell
thank
a
you
friend
for
to
listening.
tell a friend, and also providing feedback for us. We love that shit.
And because I always want you guys to know how much we love you, we're actually recording this episode out of our routine schedule because I'm going to be out of town on the Sunday that you're listening to this. So just know, man, we're always behind the scenes working hard to serve you guys.
You're
The good.
you're
And you can take that however you want. Seal's like, no, not for me.
I'll
Speak
take
for yourself.
well, not yours though.
Oh, excuse me. All right. See you later.